Hi, I'm Rick from Dr. B's Guitars, and we're here in beautiful Hamilton, Montana, about an hour south of Missoula. This is my home, and this is where I build my guitars. For me, when it comes to painful guitar playing, I've got a wrist that I had injured that doesn't work well. I've got a finger on this hand that I cut off at one point almost. I've got a friend who's a guitar player now getting finger and hand injections because they played for 50 years. This is a real thing. I'd always been building guitars. I've built guitars for over 50 years, but about 10 years ago, I thought, I think I really want to make a go of this. I was seeing more YouTube channels which showed different building techniques and some of the things that were possible and some of the things that were common, and thought, I think I want to marry my knowledge of nursing, working in the ER in the operating room, with my knowledge of guitar building after all these years and actually launch a company. And so that became Dr. B's Guitars. There have been a lot of guys that are very well established in making wonderful guitars, but I'm better probably from the standpoint of therapeutics, because I think that has been an emerging issue as more and more people playing with pain, trying to avoid pain. And the biggest thing I'm focused on is trying to prevent people from abusing their hands and avoid getting to the point where playing becomes painful. For me, when it comes to painful guitar playing, I've got a wrist that I had injured that doesn't work well. I've got a finger on this hand that I cut off at one point almost. That makes things very hard. And then I've got a couple other joints here that when I first start playing, they ache for a while until I get things worked in and moving. But I've got those challenges, and that's what helped me gravitate into a therapeutic view toward this stuff. I've got a friend who's a piano player, a friend who's a guitar player, who were always very gentle and meticulous about their technique, who both are now getting finger and hand injections because they played for 50 years. This is a real thing. If people don't envision themselves needing it, they don't pay attention. But my experiences with a lot of the musicians that I know is that it has and does happen to people, and I'm trying to help people understand that you may look at one of my videos and say, nah, I'll never need that. If you play and love what you're doing with the guitar, when you get above 50, 55 years old, you're gonna realize that things start to creep in there and you do need to be careful. And then you're gonna wish you'd have paid attention to me when you were 20 and learned to not constantly chip away at those joints while you play for all those years. I was very fortunate when I broke this wrist because the surgeon who fixed it plays guitar. And I told him, if you have any choice as to where this wrist needs to be, I need to be able to play guitar. And so he cocked it in a little bit this way from where it normally would have sat. It's just slightly modified in the direction I needed. He made it very clear when he fixed it that it was never going to be like normal again because it was so blown apart into a bunch of little pieces. When they fix something, they can fix it and have it all well and good and anatomically correct, but I've got a friend who had a wrist fixed by somebody years ago, and there were a lot of things he could not do because when they asked him what he did, he told them he basically sat at a desk and used a pencil. Well, he was a hunter, he worked on his own home, he worked on his own car, and there were a lot of positions that he really couldn't find comfortable anymore because of the way they set his wrist. Well, that was scary. I did not want to think that I could never pick up a guitar and play notes anymore. I think I was interested in modification and building and looked at a super wide neck and then realized after I did that, geez, I'm having some of those problems myself. I'm having some painful episodes, having to really warm up where things feel comfortable and my fingers are moving like I want them to. The Warmoth Guitar Company, for example, made a super wide neck that you could just screw onto a Fender Strat guitar. That was a way to get a little more roominess on the fretboard and not have to squeeze your fingers up into such tight configurations to form a chord. That opened the whole possibility of, hey, if you can build a wider neck, what else can you do to try and combat issues related to painful playing? I think being an overthinker has allowed me to consider all of the different things that you can do to make a guitar more comfortable in the hand. I've seen guys that are doing things like fan frets, multi-scaled fretboards, or the wider necks. I'm trying to put that together with all of the other motions of the human body that involve guitar playing and make sure that it's comfortable for people who have maybe overused their fingers playing guitar for years and years. I wanted to build something that was neck through. It's more challenging, but to me that was a sign of quality. Alembic was one of the guitar brands that was neck through. Rickenbacker, I've owned several 4003s, again, neck through. So it's all laid up. It's one piece from the strap button to the end of the headstock, and then the wings are added on to the sides of that. To me, that just always indicated a sense of quality. It's a lot harder to do. It's a lot harder to finish. You're not just spraying a body, it's got a neck permanently affixed to it. I wanted to make a neck for people who want to take the next step in building, who want to say, all right, I have this neck, it goes all the way to the bottom of the body and all the way to the headstock, and I want to put my own shape side panels on that to create a body shape based on what I want or what I like. A lot of people may not have the ability to carve out a neck pocket, to buy a bolt-on neck and have it fit tightly into the pocket like it really needs to be a good fit and transfer resonance. These products are built with an emphasis on agility and dexterity as opposed to having to fight through it and struggle with strength. There are a lot of products out there in general that promote strength building movements. My thing is all about no strength building. If a 6 or 7 year old guitar prodigy can play guitar or a 3-year-old kid can play violin, that's proof that you don't need a massive amount of strength to play an instrument. I've really enjoyed the social media channels. The comments are overwhelmingly supportive and positive. People are getting some value from what I'm doing and can see that this is a real issue and something that they're at least going to keep in the back of their mind, if they aren't feeling it now, for the future. I would just like to see the company thrive and continue to make guitars for people who come and say, I have this specific issue, guitar is very important to me, can you help me alleviate some of the pain I have when I'm playing? If I can do that, this business has been a success. Share my pride and joy. She my sweet little baby.